Hey everybody, James here from All American Guardian. All right, so once we have WordPress installed, you log into the back end of your WordPress, which is your dashboard, it's your administration panel, whatever you want to call it. Officially, it's called the dashboard. The first thing you're going to do is go to settings. There's a lot of things that have to be tweaked over here. I like to start with settings. Just go to general, and right here is where you're going to put the title of your site, whatever that might be. Okay, I'm just filling this out. You can put a tagline here. For me, it's keeping vigil watch over your business website. All American Guardian, keeping vigil watch over your business website. It's already got some information filled out here, like your URL, this is very important here, your email address, because if anything goes wrong with your website, the WordPress administration panel or the dashboard will actually email you if there's some sort of issue or if there's updates that need to be done, things like that. I typically leave this unchecked. New user default role. Depends on if you're going to be adding other users. If you're going to add other administrators, you may want to change that to administrator, but I would just leave it at subscriber for now. English for the language, depending on what the main language of your site is. And then time zone. Everybody's time zone is going to be different. You just need to set this to the proper time zone for you. So I believe for Central, I think we're -5. And you can always test this. See, I put in -5. You will choose your date and time format here. I'm going to leave mine like this, April 29th, 2018. 3:27 a.m., which that's just showing you the format. That's not actually the time here right now. Week starts on Monday. That's fine. I hit save changes, and then I'm going to see if I chose the right time. Right here in Houston, Texas, it is 10:29 p.m. and you see here 10:28 p.m. Pretty close. It's off by a minute, but as long as this isn't saying 11 or 12 or 9, then I know that I did this right. And if you need to, you can just make adjustments and hit save changes if you're not sure which time zone you're in. Next is writing, and still we're under settings. Okay, I'm just going down to the next little sub category under settings. Default post category. Well, we don't actually, gosh, they put some post categories in there. I forgot that actually for this website we uploaded all of the default demo content. So typically, if you don't upload that demo content, if your theme doesn't come with demo content, this is just going to be blank. There's not going to be anything here until you actually set up categories, which we'll talk about on a whole nother video. Just leave all this. There's not a whole lot you got to do in here. Mail server, just leave this alone for now. There's nothing you really need to do with this. You can leave that there as well. Just hit save changes. Now reading. This is important. Basically, the very first page that you come to when you go to your domain name, yourdomain.com, right here, this your homepage displays, this is what they're going to see. They're either going to see your latest post, which is your blog roll, your blog where all of your different posts are laid out in reverse chronological order, or they're going to see a static page. And so you can select a page that they will see first. So that's totally up to you. If you want them to see your blog first, or you want them to see a specific page. And then right here, I typically check for each article in the feed, show summary, because if you have some really long articles, that would take up a lot of room. Now this right here is important, search engine visibility. You can check this and it discourages search engines from indexing your site. It's up to the search engines to honor this request. I would leave this unchecked. I would never check this. Basically, this is telling the search engines that you do not want your website included in the search index, in the Google index, and that's not a good thing. So we want people to be able to find your website. So just hit save changes. Okay, so moving on to the next subheading under settings is discussion. In here, there's a lot of things that are default checked. The good thing about this looks crazy. It looks like, oh my gosh, there's all these different things I got to think about. You really don't. I've set up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites, and I typically don't change much of anything, okay? So I'm just going to go over the things that I really think need to be changed or that you need to put some thought towards. The other things you can leave for now. And you can always make changes to this as you go along. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's business is different. Everyone uses their website for different things. So you may get to a point where you revisit these settings and go, hey, I need to make a change here, and that's fine. So right here, let's see, attempt to notify blogs, allow link notifications, allow people to post comments on new articles. I typically uncheck this just because if it's a standard website, it really depends on if you're going to let people comment on your blog or if you're going to have a blog at all. If you're not going to have a blog, I would just uncheck this. If you are going to have a blog and you're going to allow comments, you've got to make sure that you're willing to go in there and moderate those comments, because people will leave crazy stuff in there. Spammers will come and leave comments, and you're going to have to weed those out and only approve the comments that are real and that are appropriate. So just something to think about. Let's see, I leave most of this. Yep. Okay, so I leave most of this just standard like it is. Default settings. Hit save. Media, I don't change anything in here. Permalinks, this is very important, okay? The default setting for this is day and name, which is very bizarre. So let me just show you an example of that. We're going to go to pages, or let's go to posts. Let's look at a blog post. Here's one called Morning News. These are all just loaded up in the demo. And we're going to actually go look at the what visitors would see. So as you can see up here in the URL, it says allamerican.site and then 2008 06 /26 /morning -news. This is a terrible URL. This is not good for search engine optimization, and it's not good for user experience either, because who wants to try to read all that and figure out what that means? It's a date, but it's backwards for one thing for most people, and it's just not good. So with a blog post titled Morning News, a more appropriate URL would just be /morning news. Way simpler. You just want to keep things simple and to the point and very easy to understand, because not only will it be good for your readers and your visitors to your blog or to your website, but also for Google to read this stuff. So let's go back and change so that I can show you the difference. We'll go under settings, we'll go to permalinks, and we're going to just click on post name. Hit save changes. So that was right here, post name. Okay, almost the last one. Hit save changes. Now let's go back to that same post, Morning News, view, and now look at that URL, nice and clean. It's just your domain name /morning-news. So that's how it should always be, in my opinion. Everyone's got a different opinion on it, but that's the way I do it. So as far as settings goes, that pretty much covers it for now. If there's some specific question you guys have, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.
All American Guardian, keeping vigil watch over your business website.